Today I'm going to show you a comparison between the Xbox One and the upcoming PS4. These stats are supposedly pretty accurate by now, we're getting a little closer to release date. But if anything does change, I will be constantly updating it at this page here. I'll put a link to it in the description. But this is the basic information that I have right now, and I'll show you where I've gotten that information to show you it's accurate. But in the future, if there are any updates, maybe I'll make a new video, but you can also check right here for the updates. And I'll kind of describe to you what these stats actually mean. So the big thing that I'm sure a lot of people are wondering is the price. And from what I found, the PlayStation 4 is going to be $399, and that was announced at the E3 conference by Sony. And you can see that right here, this is a picture of the E3 conference where they announced the pricing. So if you're in Europe, then it's going to be 399 euros. Usually, maybe certain countries it might be a little more, but it should be 399 euros. If you're in England, 350 pounds, and if you're in the United States, $399. Then another big thing for everyone is about the online. So far, it is kind of known that it's gonna be required that you have a PS Plus subscription to play online with the PlayStation 4. If I find out any different from that, I'll let you know, but that is the kind of generally accepted knowledge right now. And then, of course, Xbox Live will still be required for playing on the Xbox, playing games online on the Xbox. For a disc drive, they're both going to have Blu-ray and DVD now, so that was a big advantage of the PS3 over the Xbox 360, was that it had a Blu-ray built in, and now they both have Blu-ray, so you don't have to worry about that. Online DRM, or the digital rights media, the PS4 has come out saying that you can use used games, that games will not be tied to your accounts, and that you can share games, sell them to GameStop and such. So that's very, very good, and that I think is drawing a lot of people to PlayStation 4. With the 360 and with the Xbox One, it's kind of a gray area. They haven't been saying way too much about it, but supposedly, with the PlayStation 4 as well, you'll never have to connect to the internet to play a game. You don't have to worry about that. With the the Xbox One, they've said that some things I've heard is that you cannot play used games, while from others I have heard that you can play used games. So that's still kind of up in the air. We probably won't know for certain for a while, but I can show you this page here, not that one. That shows the price of the Xbox One at $499, which, yeah, it's a little expensive, but that is what it is going to retail for. Let me see here. Okay, this is the Always Online Connection page, and I'll put links to all these pages that I have displayed here in the description. So you can see that there's several updates here. At first, they said that it will not require an always-on connection to play games offline, but then there's an update that it won't require it, but developers have the ability to take advantage of that. So that some games might require an always online connection, while other games won't. It depends on the person selling the game rather than on the Xbox itself. So that's good news. But then more information has come out, so this may change in the future. Basically, this whole part right here is still very shady for the Xbox One, but it's very clear for the PlayStation 4 so far, is that you can use used games and everything. So as more comes out about this, I will let you know. For the processor, they both have 8-core, 8-thread CPUs running at 1.6 gigahertz. I actually think it might be the exact same processor. You can see that here, that they're both using 1.6 gigahertz processor estimated, and they're both AMD Jaguar processors, so it's likely that they're the exact same processor. The 1.6 gigahertz is actually a pretty big deal, because that's going to be able to run at a low enough gigahertz that a lot less heat is going to be produced, and that was a big problem on the 360, and the PS4 had that, and PS3 had that problem as well, about how much heat it was producing. So 1.6 is actually a real big step down. You can see, this 360 used a 3.2 gigahertz processor, and that gave off a lot of heat along with the video card, so that's a pretty big deal. Then there's the the actual video card, and that is very, very important. And as you can see in this, the GPU of the Xbox One is rated around 1.23 teraflops, where the PlayStation 4 is 1.84 teraflops. Technically, that means that the PlayStation 4 is 1.5 times as fast, like GPU wise, which is what's most important for games. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it will be that much better for games, like that it'll look a lot better, because a lot of it's also internal programming and just there's a lot more to it than that. But the PS4 is more powerful than the Xbox One for a less price, so it's kind of it's a big deal to some people. So that's something to look at. I'm trying to make this as unbiased as possible. I'm not even going to tell you what my preference is, but as you can see, just numbers wise, the PlayStation 4 is more powerful. And GPU cores, the PlayStation 4 has more, and that's part of what is giving the higher teraflops here. But the memory, the PlayStation 4 has 8 gigs of RAM. That's DDR5, while the Xbox One has 8 gigs of DDR3. They're both extremely fast, but DDR5 is what's usually used on video cards just because it's so amazing, while DDR3 is like normal RAM that you would use in your like desktop or a laptop, so like a new one today. So DDR5 is probably better, but I don't think that will affect the performance as much as you would think. But it is another point for the PlayStation 4. The games available only on that console. I'm going to be updating this list. So far, I have Halo, but I'm going to research that a bit more and give you a really comprehensive list, and I'll put that in the description. If you have any ideas about any knowledge of other games that are only available on one or the other, just let me know. Then there's the size of the console. The exact specs for the PlayStation 4 is that it's going to be 275 by 53 by 305 millimeters. That I can show you how big that is in just a second. And the Xbox One, they haven't released exact figures, but if you see them side by side, the Xbox One is about 1.5 times the size. And I can show you a picture of that here. So this is the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One. And as you can see, the Xbox One is a little bigger than the 360 was, and it's a good 1.5 times the size of the PlayStation 4. So, but this is an approximate. I think he says somewhere in this article even that this is an approximate like comparison here. So this might not be the exact size of it compared to the PS4, but it's general knowledge that it's about this size. Then the weight of the console, the PS4 has been released at 2.8 kilograms. For those of you in pounds, kilogram is 2.2 pounds, so if we multiply this by 2.2, then it's, 5.6, it's close to 6 pounds, where I'm guessing the Xbox 360, Xbox One with its larger size, it's probably going to be closer to, maybe 7 or 8 pounds, maybe even up to 10, but I would really doubt that. Just because it's bigger doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be heavier. Like, there can be more airspace inside, so that's kind of a... Still, until they release an actual weight for it, you won't really know, but I'm guessing it's going to be a little heavier than the PS4. And then, generally accepted performance, like I said, is that the PlayStation 4 is about 1.5 times as powerful as the XBONE, and the XBONE is only 66% as fast as the PS4, but that does not necessarily mean that the games are going to be that much better on the PS4. There are a lot of other factors into it, but just specs-wise, the PS4 is faster. If you have any more information that you want me to update this with, just leave it in a comment, and like if you even tell me and then it's from your own website and you leave me a link to your website, then I'll add that on here. As long as it's good information, just really anything else that you know that I haven't put on here, just let me know. And like I said, I'll keep updating this page.